Hi, I wanted to invite you to take a few minutes and look at my Canva tutorial. Canva works. So, to create a design, you want to look at the options that are already given you. You can create a Canva print, social media, presentation, poster, Instagram post, and so forth. For the sake of this, we're going to actually create an Instagram post. So once I clicked on Instagram posts, it gave me some popular options, which are a poster, a Facebook cover, animated social media, a flyer, and so forth. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create an Instagram post. And there are different Instagram options: food Instagram posts, sale Instagram posts, love Instagram posts, Halloween, birthday, summer, spring, wedding, autumn, winter, travel, Father's Day, Instagram ad, and they have even more results than that. So you can look through these templates when you have time and just choose one that appeals to you and your senses. So what I like different ones that I like different templates that are very simple but convey the message. So here's a template that I like a lot because the words are nice and large. On Instagram, one of the things that you're competing with is the size. So on someone's mobile phone, those images are going to be very small. So in order for them to see what your quote says, the words have to be large. So this option is going to be a better option rather than one like this or this one, because someone would have to expand the image in order to read it if they don't have really good eyes. And it's hard to see stuff on mobile phones anyway. So making it as large as possible is definitely helpful. Okay, so this is a typical, very basic template. I'm not going to use the winter background that's on this particular image. I'm going to show you how to change it out so that it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be a color, you just click on the word background, and you want to keep it based on the colors that your brand is already using. So they give you some basic colors at the top. These may be the colors in your brand. If they aren't, you can actually change it. So you can click on this and it'll change it to that color. Or if you know the HTML for your color, you would just either you could type it in if you know the code, or you could type in the color. So I'm going to type in neon pink. All right. So neon pink is kind of my brand color. It's nice and bold, which I like, and but it's a little too bold. So if I didn't want it to be this bold, I could definitely choose a gradient. So these options that are under background, they have some images and some gradients. Like this particular one is a gradient. Let me find a pink gradient. So this is a pink gradient that I actually I use because I like how it goes from light pink to the neon pink. That's my brand color. I like that particular contrast. And so I'm going to use this for a quote. Okay, so what I have done before the conversation, I actually went through and I got some quotes that I wanted to use for the sake of this tutorial. Here is one quote, so I'm just copying and pasting, and I am going to cut and paste my quote into this template. All right, so that is very bold and big, but it's a little too big and it's not that appealing to the eye. So one thing that I'm going to want to do, I'm going to want to take out the author of the quote, the person who said the quote, and I'm going to put that at the bottom because that's less, it doesn't need to be as prominent. What needs to be prominent is the words because they're going to be what I want people to actually look at. And this one is hugs can do great amounts of good, especially for children. So if I want to add quotation marks to that, I can. If I want to increase the font of the author of the quote, I would I would double click on it here, select it, go up to the font size, and I'm going to change it. It's at 21 now. I'm going to see how 24 looks. That's pretty good. Let me see what 28 looks like. Ooh, 28 is even better because again, I don't want it to be too small on Instagram where it's distracting. So this looks pretty good. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do? If I want to change the font, right now is Antonio Bold. I can do that. I can change the font. And let's see. Ooh, this one is cool. And all you do, you click on it. Now, while this font looked great here, it's not so great when I see it on the template. So I'm actually going to undo that because I do not like how that font looks when it's bigger. So I am going to maybe just do these middle words. So I am going to highlight this middle section here and I deleted the middle section and I'm going to add the words to the middle by creating another text box. And I'm going to put the words that I cut and paste here. I'm going to increase it by 42. Let's see. What is this? This is 96. So if that is 96, and what I'm doing, I am clicking out of the box and then I clicked inside the text that I need to change. So if the larger font is 96, let me go with 96 so that it will be the same. Let me move it up. And what I am trying to do, I am trying to actually change this font so that it's more appealing. One text that, let's see if they have like a cursive text to make it really stand out. And on Canva, the ones with the crown are actually not free. That's where they want you to pay in order to use that particular font. And so if you keep looking, you can probably find a free font that may convey what you want, or you can always upgrade to use Canva, to use the other fonts, upgrade to a paid account in order to use the other fonts. So here are just a few, and if you notice here, they're bold. The ones that are not, the ones that are free are bold. The ones that are not bold, that are kind of washed out, are the paid fonts. So I'm just looking through to find one that may work. That one is a little whimsical and fun, but it doesn't necessarily look the best for what I'm trying to do. So I'm still looking through to see a font that I like. Oh, this one might work. Okay, that's kind of cute. So I am expanding. So I want the words to show up in the middle automatically. And so I am expanding the selection so that it goes to the end of the square. And that way I can see without a doubt that the text is in the middle, which is important. All right. Something else that I notice about this text is black. It's not the same color as the original font. And so I'm double clicking on the original font so I can see what color is used, and they're using this document color. So what I want to do, I don't want this font to be a different color. You could totally make it a different color. Now to select the middle, I have to click out of the box. So let's see. Click out of the box and then click in the text box that you want. And I have to double click on that, then go to the A with the colors to change the color. And if I want it to be the same color as the other fonts, that's essentially what I do. And in order to move this up, because you see the G is hanging over the I, you have to use your arrows on your computer. So you select it and then you use the arrows on your computer as long as the square is selected, and you can just use the arrow to go up where you need it to go. All right. So I think that looks great. And let me see if there's anything else that I can show you. So if you wanted to make two of them so that you can just change one out and add another. So I'm going to use the same template so I can do more than one image at a time. And I just press the box that says copy page. And I'm going to go back to my quotes. I'm going to get another quote. And I'm going to replace that quote with, so again, because I had the other text box, it's only selecting the larger portion that's in a different box. So right now, these words are pretty large. Let me undo that. Let me undo. So this is what it was originally. I'm going to replace the text. It's so large. I'm going to actually make the font size smaller so that I can see it better. And I want it to be a little larger than that. All right, so we know that I still have that middle part and I can get rid of it. So so if you want to move it, you sometimes have to select out and then go back in, select outside of the square to go back in. If I want to get rid of this, I just select it by clicking on it and then I press delete. And then I would put this where I would replace it with the larger quote. I'm going to move the name of the author and put it here. I'm going to change the background because when people see it, I don't want them to think they're seeing the exact same quote. So if it looks the exact same, it's possible that your audience could get tired of seeing the exact same. So you may want to add some sort of variation there. Instead of using a background solid color that's a gradient, I'm actually going to put a photo behind it. And this, they give me, I'm going to type in, let's see, what is this about? You can learn many things from children, how much patience you have, for instance. So I'm going to type in the word children. And I'm going to see what photos are suggested. Oh, this is awesome. I like this photo with the kids. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to actually drag it into the square. So I clicked in here and I dragged it into the square. And what I noticed, my quote is there, but you know what? You can't see it, which is a problem. So how do I make this image? I love the image, but it's bright and bold and I can't see my text. What I can do, I can actually put like a filter over the words so that I can see the words better, over the picture so that I can see the words better. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to go to shapes. I'm going to choose the same shape as my box, which is a square. I'm going to click on this square. Now I can, because this square is covering my whole text, I can have the square just be kind of like a frame, and I can use the transparency, which is this checkered box here, use the transparency icon and make a gradient behind it. And then you still can't see the words that great. So what do I need to do? I need to change the position of my text. So it says, do I want to move my square back behind the text? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. And so when I did that, the text started to stand out a little bit more. Now, what I noticed is it doesn't look that great. So I'm going to drag this square to the end. And now I can see that the entire image is easier to read. The gradient it's not a gradient. This is actually a filter. It's allowing the picture to be washed out a little bit. It's not perfect because I can't see the text that well. So what I want to do, I'm going to kind of play with the transparency a bit so I can see which one allows me to see it better. Now, this gray doesn't really go with my brand colors, so I need to change it. Do I want it to be white? Ooh, that's tempting. That's versatile. Do I want it to be orange? Ooh, very nice, because it goes with my brand colors. Now, does this brown go with my brand colors? Not so much. So I can make the text white. Ooh, that's too bright. I can make it black. Not good. So you just kind of play with it. Ooh, terrible. So you kind of play with it to see which colors look better. And so I'm probably going to choose, let's see, maybe I'll make the text orange and I'll make the box white. So sometimes you got to play with it to see what is actually going to work better. And this isn't a color that I love. So I'm going to just probably keep it simple. I don't want my box to be black, so let me switch that back to white. But I think I do want the text to be black. And so what I did, I double clicked on the words. Now I'm going back to the A and I'm choosing the default colors. Now, because this is grouped together, you notice that it changed these words to black, but it did not change the author that says Franklin P. Jones to black. Now, you can ungroup that by going to the top where it says ungroup. And that just makes it so that these two, like if I wanted to delete this section, I could just delete it. If I want to bring that back, I would go here to undo to bring it back. And I could double tap to change it to black like the other text. And there you have it. You can learn many things from children, how much patience you have, for instance. Now, if I wanted to add a quote, this is how I would add the quote. It's okay, not the best. If I want to make this smaller, I could do that as well. And if I wanted to add quotation symbols, I could do that as well. And I'm going to go in here. I had written children to bring up the image, and now I can write quotes. So I see that these are actual frames and things. That's not really what I want. I want quotation marks. So you have to be specific. These are some options. Again, if it has the crown, it's going to be a paid option. So they're going to charge you to use that one. So none of these are that great. So let me go to Let me go here, see what option, if something better comes up. I see the question mark coming up, but not just the quotation symbols. So let me see if I type in quotation symbol, if what I want. So these are some quotation symbols, but none of these are more images. Let me go to elements and see if I get some better options. Quotation symbols. Perfect. The only issue is all of these are paid. That's why you see the little $ here. So it's saying, yeah, we have quotations for you, but if you're not a upgraded customer, that's the ones that can use the crown, then you're going to have to pay to use this feature. My workaround that is just to add text. And I went to text to add text, and I'm actually going to make this about 120. And I'm going to just put in some quotation marks here. If I want them to be bigger, I just drag it. And there you have it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. And I can make this text a little bit bigger. This font is a little smushed together. I actually would like something that has more spaces. So I'm going to change the font. I would like something a little bit different. Let's see. That one is okay. That's too bold. Let's see if this, and it may just take really kind of playing around with different ones to see which one is the best option for what you need to use it for. So these are all kind of similar. And I'm looking for one that's very standard and simple without too many frills. And I'm going to type in one that I actually like. So you don't have to just scroll through. You can actually type one of the, if you know a name of a font that you want to use, you can type it in. And I like Railway because it's nice and simple. So if I change this, I should probably change the this as well. So we have that. Let's move this up. And this is just some of the ways that you can use Canva to create different images that you can use for your brand. Very simple. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. I can always do a follow-up video, but this is really just the basics to get you started. There are some other options. I like to keep it simple. You can change the letter. So if you wanted to change the way it appears, this is what you would do. I like to keep it pretty much the way it was. It's probably okay. The line height, you can space it out by using this. And they just give you other options as well. You can change the alignment if you want it left aligned, if you want it right aligned, if you want it in the middle. You just click on that. Now again, you would double click on the text box and then you would use the alignment icon in order to change it. If you want everything to be capital, this particular font does make everything capital. Or you can make it title case where the first word is capitalized and then the words that follow are not. Or you can make it all caps. So that's what you would use there. This is the underline tool. Really, this is pretty standard across the board, like if you were using Microsoft Word or anything. So I hope that you were able to kind of get an understanding. Let me go ahead and show you how to save it and download it before I let you go. All right. So we're going to call this Joan's quote. I'm actually going to call it a parenting quote. Joan's parenting quote, and I'm going to click download. Now, remember that when we did this, we actually created two different images.